Football with friends is fun as hell. My name is Alex Dunlap here with Cody Carpentier on a big Thursday, a victory Thursday here on a bye week. We got a bunch to get to today. Jason Sukamel, right before the War Room comes out tonight over on orangebloods.com, put out his new recruiting board with some updated odds from some behind-the-scenes stuff that he's hearing on a couple of these remaining Texas targets from 2025. We're going to talk about those guys, but it looks like Texas is trending up a little bit with Michael Terry and with Joseph Mbachu. So we'll talk about that, what it means, kind of what Jason's hearing. We also have Cody, who has done his latest edition of the college football playoff prediction stuff. We're going to talk about that. Also, I have a few buy or sells. It's Halloween. Cody, have you handed out any any candy to any trick-or-treaters yet?
Thankfully, my house is tucked away into some trees, and if you ever come out here, it's easier to explain. You'll see it. But it's kind of tucked off of a busier residential street. So one, we'll get very few that come down the street. And two, if they do come down the street, they won't see my house because I'm hidden. So no candy from your boy tonight.
You got to just leave those lights off. You know, dude, I've never gotten a single – I've lived in this house, dude, since I was I've lived in this house since like I bought it in like 2017, I guess, right after my son was born. And I've never gotten a trick-or-treater.
I can't say I'm shocked. Well, I should say I am shocked. I'm surprised the neighbor hasn't for a reason. I can't believe one of your friends hasn't come over and just been
nobody
like,
wants to walk down these. No, it's just like there's some master plan communities that are around. Nobody wants to walk the distance from house to house out here, dude. It's like
did they ever I mean,
when you have a neighbor that's got 20 acres and it's like you got to walk all the way around his property and this stuff.
But did you ever have growing up? Did your parents ever? I mean, you were long time ago. The last time you trick or treated as a kid, but you never like. I guess maybe this was Midwest. In the Midwest, sometimes if it was really cold, mom would drive around like the minivan, and you'd have all your friends, and our mobile was the van, and we had the back end opened up, and you jump in the back end, and she'd drive you up to the next neighborhood, and you just have this thing, so you didn't have to really walk everywhere. You'd walk a lot, but then she'd meet you down the street, pick you up, you'd take you to the next over to your friend's neighborhood, whatever.
Yeah, I think maybe if it's like, I think maybe if there weren't just like communities around here within 10 minutes, like Rough Hollow or West Cypress Hills or something, Briar Cliff, that we could just take our kids to and just park and go walk around those where these houses are close. We'd probably have to do something like that because I wouldn't want, or maybe take the ATV.
Dude, that's your secret weapon.
That's probably the best thing. Anyway, we'll get into the Halloween stuff a little while later. I'm a little bit tilted because my kids are gonna have to go on Halloween tonight without me, and so I won't be there to monitor their candy consumption. And I'm not sure they're going to abide by Dad's rule of only one.
You got the rule tonight.
Yeah, only one piece of candy. They both told me that they'll only each eat one piece, but I don't think that I trust them on this. And we can talk about what happens with the leftover candy and the Squid Game if we haven't discussed that on Football with Friends this year.
Well,
but
I think we have to discuss it every year, right? Like I can't believe it's come a full circle already. I mean, we talked about it a year ago.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about the Squid Game in a minute, but it's a game that my kids have to play every night for one piece of candy. And if they lose the game, they get their candy, not only their candy thrown away, but also their brother and or sister. They have to throw away their candy as well. It's always a very sad thing to see. Anyway, the first thing what we wanted to get into here was just the stuff with the updated Jason's recruiting board. And all right, so on here, he basically has for the quarterbacks, Texas is done, right? KJ Lacey committed to Texas. They're done for the next 3 years. Or the next, if we consider 2025, 2026, yeah. As far as the running backs, Ricky Stewart and James Simon, both locked in, both solid. We're now on to 2026 and Javion Osborne and stuff like that. No more running backs this year. Wide receivers, 3 or 4. So he says that the guys that are on the radar are, and I think this is interesting. Jaden Robinson from California. Like he's like a little. I watched a little bit of him, Cody. He's kind of like a trying to think of
Like an Aaron Butler.
Well, he's 5'9", 155. So more like a kind of like a Tank Dell. You know what I mean? Like that size of guy, Calvin Austin type player, just spit, size, as far as the size, it's like, very, very, very low BMI, but very, very fast and very shifty. And actually if you just watch him and watch his highlights, just even on the first highlight, you can see that the length of his strides are pretty long. Jaden Robinson, he gets up to speed really, really, really quick. And then the other one that he has listed here, these are just guys. It's like, whenever Jason says these dudes are on the radar, he does not give percentages for them. But whenever Jason lists them as on the radar, I've learned to pay attention to this stuff. The other guy is, what's his name? Winston Watkins.
Yeah, I saw him down.
Who I have not seen. Not seen. Is he a 4-star?
I saw him down at the 5-star event. He's the number 8 wide receiver in the country on Rivals. He's pretty. Who's the best? He's kind of similar to Dalen McCutcheon, to be honest with you. I was shocked to see this name on here, because he is a bit. I think he's a guy that could play probably a little more outside than McCutcheon, but his route technique is closer to McCutcheon. It's very rigid, very harsh, in and out of breaks and stuff like that. Like that was what I remember vividly in person.
Like rigid and harsh, like wasted motion.
No, like he just, it's just like a sick, like a deep, how do I explain?
Garrett Wilson style.
Yeah, like he runs like a dig, and it's like on the back on the back of the end zone line, and it's like a dig, and it's like and it's just like straight down the line, like it's like direct. You know what I'm saying? Like very just harsh.
So no wasted motion. So it's like some of these guys, whenever they make those, those violent cuts.
Violent, that's the word.
As far as in their stems, yeah, but their body, there can be a lot of like unwieldy locomotion whenever they're doing that, right? It's like whenever whenever it's like that, those super precision cuts that there's like the dudes who are the violent cutters, and then they're the dudes who are the super just smooth operators. Mm-hmm. I've always thought of Dalen McCutcheon as more of a kind of a smooth operator as far as
Winston Watkins was that was the one thing I remember is just how harsh his bends are in his routes and how he straightens them out on these like outs and in routes. That's the one thing I remember vividly about Winston Watkins on there. But I was shocked. Like this guy was formerly committed to Colorado. I know there's been a lot of Ole Miss juice behind him. I didn't know he had been on campus recently. Has he been to a game? I don't know, because the thing I attached this to when I saw this name, I was like, man, I don't recall his name coming up. And I know, like Sark said yesterday, everyone that we're recruiting right now has been on campus, been to a game. Like he said that yesterday, right? So I don't know. Like you said, Jason puts it in there for a reason. I've just learned
to pay attention.
With him just potentially being the only guy in the top, I don't know what it is, top 20 that's undecided, top 15 that's undecided, potentially. Anyway,
I'm trying to look here. There's getting down to offensive linemen. So I'm trying to look at this one guy that I had never seen before, trying to get a look at him, Peter Longi from San Francisco. Have you watched him, Cody? He's a 3-star.
Is this what's his name's teammate?
From Archbishop Reardon High School. I don't think. Are you talking about Brandon?
John Mills is from San Francisco.
Oh, John Mills. I'm sorry. No, he's from like St. Ignatius something.
There you go.
But this is Archbishop, I think. I don't think.
Yeah. No, he's from Riordan. I've never heard of that school. Riordan.
Archbishop. I think it's pronounced Reardon. Archbishop Reardon High School.
Reardon. There you go.
And I'm watching this guy right here, and this is he plays guard. He does not move well. He's definitely giant. Longy is a Samoan surname, so he's probably Pacific Islander, and you can tell he has a real gosh, that was a good rep. Real dense body, just a real good anchor through his lower half, but he is not good at all. He is, he needs a lot of work on his feet. He also does this stuff. He's also a knee locker. He gets into engagement and he locks his knees, which is obviously terrible. But he does have some stuff, man. Whenever he engages you, he can't pull. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure. I'm not. It's just like you're getting my live analysis here of Peter Longy. I'm not sure that he should be. I'm not sure that he should be on the radar, but we'll sort of see about that. But Jason does list him as on the radar right now. Of course, they have Jackson Christian, Jordan Coleman, Devin Coleman, John Mills, and Nick Brooks. Nick Brooks being the kind of, I guess, is he the cherry on top? I mean, is he the kind of the bell cow of the class?
I think Brooks would be, yeah, technically.
Look, man, and Kyle Flood I trust, right? But gosh, man, they need turn time. And they need that other dude. What's the other dude's name? That the big long-haired Viking looking kid?
Oh gosh. You got
Zayden.
Yeah.
Something. Like they need to get Zayden and Turntine next year because this. I mean, I'm
not gonna hate. I mean, he's done a lot with 3 stars to this point. So
do you think that? Well, do you think that it's just like, man, I can't have. I can't. I know, dude, but look, Kelvin Banks, 5-star. DJ Campbell, basically, I think he was a 5-star. If he wasn't, he basically was. But by the end, Cam Williams was.
Campbell was the top kid in the class, wasn't he?
I think, but rivals bumped down Kelvin Banks at the end because of his performance playing at right tackle with the All-Star.
Yeah. But I'm saying DJ Campbell was the top in his class.
Okay. Well, so all right, fine. So Banks, Campbell, these guys are all 5-stars. Cam should have been a 5-star. It's like I think those guys have clearly been really big parts of this offensive line group. Yeah, I think that the 3-star stuff we've seen from him, probably the best we've seen from. I think Christian Jones was a 3-star. He was able to do some stuff with him, and then I guess the early returns so far on Trevor Gooseby are good. But like, I don't know, man. I think you need a little more star power. But as of right now, there is a sort of a Brandon Baker in the 2024 class that should be able to give you an. We've talked about this before, man. This 2025 class feels like 2023 to me.
Yeah,
it's like some of these dudes feel like if they were to take that Peter Longy kid, or they're like, the Nikolai Brooks. Like Nikolai Brooks to me looks like a souped up Connor Stroh. One of these guys that they just Peyton Kirkland they just take because he's just giant. You know what I mean? And I have some of the same hesitations about Brooks that Anwar does about how just like how many 400-pound linemen you see out there, really. I mean, I understand you want them big. I mean, it's the SEC, but it's like, I don't know. The defensive ends. So this is about guys who are trending up. So Jason lists Lance Jackson as a defensive end. Also, of course, Smith Orogbo. He has Javion Hilson, as we talked about on our show just the other day. He's trending down. He has him now at just a 50-50 shot at landing at Texas. And I think he basically sees
A&M behind that, right?
Yeah, he thinks that A&M is in it. You still think it's Texas UCF?
Yeah.
You don't think A&M's even have
to be A&M's in there, but I don't think they're I don't think they're if I was gonna if he was gonna say it's 50% he goes to Texas, I would say all right, it's 50% he goes to Texas, it's 30% he goes to UCF, 20% A&M, maybe 25-25 between those two.
I don't think that Jason thinks that UCF is as big a player in this as you do.
But he has it the whole time.
What?
he hasn't the whole time. Jason hasn't worried about UC. Nobody's ever worried about UCF.
Well, I'm
They
not.
don't realize that his teammate is going there. They don't realize that Gus Malzahn is a good recruit. Like, this is what he does. Now the thing is that UCF has lost a few games. That's the thing that hurts them. But I mean, there's been no respect given to UCF through this recruitment of Javian Hilson. So I mean, I wouldn't imagine that it would be.
I think they really needed to beat Florida. They didn't beat Florida, right?
Yeah, they lost to Florida, and then they lost to Colorado. They lost to Florida, and then they lost this last weekend to somebody they should have beat. And it's just it's went downhill since the Colorado game.
I don't pay it. I don't pay much attention to UCF.
Iowa State. They lost to BYU and Iowa State as well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't you think that we're going to talk about your college football playoff stuff here, man? I mean, don't you think that Iowa State's actually good this year? That's another thing. Dude, here's the thing about watching the Big 12 to me. I've been forced my whole life, or my whole adult life since I started watching Texas, once I got to school there. I've been forced to watch these stupid Big 12 programs like Iowa State and Baylor and Kansas State and Tech and just Oklahoma State, just forced to care about these teams. And for me now, it's like I feel like I've been unshackled and I can watch the good football teams now. And it's just like whenever I see one of these teams on, I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna I mean, I'll stop and watch. I'll stop and watch teenagers throwing the football. At a park. I love watching football so much, right? But if there's other games, right? If there's other games on that are like SEC games and stuff like that, there's no way I'm turning on a Big 12 football game. So I haven't watched, and I'm not going to go back and watch Iowa State. I have no time to go back and watch these games when I'm doing the deep dig. Are they that good?
They're pretty good. They got a pretty good running game. Beck is, I mean, you knew
Beck was fully, all right, so he's still the quarterback.
Yeah, you knew Beck was going to be good. You know how good he was going to be, but you knew he was going to be good. He's been good. The thing is their schedule is not tough. Like the toughest thing they had was they had to go to Iowa early in the year, which they do every single year. And then their toughest game since then has been at West Virginia. Like that's been the toughest. Like the conference just isn't tough. So, I mean, that's why you got an undefeated BYU. That's why you got an undefeated Iowa State. That's why Colorado's in it. Kansas State's in it. Like,
who's better between BYU and Iowa State?
On a neutral field, I think I take Iowa State.
Saying it's creepy that I'll stop and watch teenagers throwing the ball.
Yeah. When you said that, I was thinking the same thing that JD said.
Just keep talking. Nothing to see here. Hey, I don't call him up on the phone like Jason does, man. But I'll stop and watch 7-on-7. I love watching football. I love watching football. But I'm just sure. if I have SEC to watch, I'm not going to watch these Big 12 teams that held me hostage for most of my adult life. But BYU is better than Iowa State. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Sandman.
No, I said I would take Iowa State on a neutral field.
Okay.
Both have good running games though.
We have with the defensive ends, he doesn't think that they're taking anymore, which was it. So he's calling
Mbachu.
Yeah, so he's calling Joseph Mbachu and Justice Terry, both defensive tackles. He says that Texas is going to take either 2 or 3. I think that they can take more. And this is interesting because earlier he did have Mbachu listed as an end, and he had Justice Terry listed as a I think he had him listed as a tackle. So he's actually moved. He's actually edited this board since I first saw it. But he has both these guys now in the defensive tackle. He has Joseph Mbachu now up from Loganville Grayson, that's in Georgia. Now has him up to 55% chance that he comes to Texas. And he has Justice Terry now up to a 30% chance he comes to Texas. So I think, have we ever had a talk about which? I mean, I think 30. There's not. I mean, is there that big? Clearly there's a big difference between 30 and 55%. But it's like He's saying that there's a legit chance with Justice Terry. We both think that Terry's the better prospect, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you think that Mbachu is just automatically, naturally, just is there any one position that you see him at right off the bat, or do you think he's a guy who we've talked about kind of a similarity to Alfred Collins before, where maybe he can play end, and then by the time he gets older, he can still kind of maybe play end and some of those jumbo stuff because he's really big and long, like Alfred Collins, but also will have enough mass by then to maybe play nose or play at the 3 tech.
I mean, listen, he's listed at 285 already, and he's listed at 6'6". I don't know how true either of those numbers are, but I think the fact that we're talking about this and you watch the games over every single week. You watch tons of reps on here. Like we've seen guys like Baron Sorrell move in, Burke move in, these edge guys go in, inside guys go out. Like I think it's more about the fact that these guys can play both inside and outside. Lance Jackson inside and outside. It doesn't really matter. Yes, sure, they may be better fit a 3 tech or better fit inside, but they're all guys that can bump out, play some 5, play some 6i type of situation.
Yeah, I just Cotton is accusing me of not being a true alpha and not going to the gym to lift. Cody, I just can't believe it. This is about
camera.
This is about camera angles, man. Come on. All right. And then, but Joseph Mbachu, I think the big news is here is he thinks that we should be looking at Texas as the favorite for him now. So it's good, right? Texas is trending up.
It's only 5% more than Hilton. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
But I would say we feel pretty good about Mbachu.
All right, linebackers. So Texas needs 3 or 4 of these guys. They have 2 commits, but they really need to add at least one more linebacker to this class. His 3 Jason has his 3 top candidates on the remaining board with the percentages. So Madden, yeah, but it's his last name that I can't ever get right. Faramo. Yeah. Madden Faramo from California. I forget. I guess Sarah Catholic. Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, who was he brothers with Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa, who just got injured for the Browns?
Yep.
And then Kellen Wiley, who I have not watched. Have you watched Kevin Wiley from Armwood in Florida? No. He has Madden. Here, I'm going to click on it and see if there's a huddle.
Says they offered him on October 31st.
Today?
That's what his Rivals page says.
Okay, so a new offer went out today, and Jason is putting this guy at 30% chances of Texas landing him. He is 6'4". Listed on Rivals as 6'4", 225 pounds. I'm clicking on his huddle right now to see if I can kind of get a look at where this guy lines up. So he lines up off the line of scrimmage in this play. Oh gosh, that's a good rep. He's a really, really leggy guy with some good speed to him. Off-ball linebacker here in these particular reps. Actually a Mike linebacker in these reps with some very good, just downhill thumping ability, skinny as a rail, long legs, looks like kind of like a young version of DeMarvion Overshone, just right off first cuff here when looking at him, getting to see some pursuit angle sideline. Yeah, dude, this is some good sideline to sideline pursuit angle stuff, but he is a long, leggy inside linebacker with some coverage chops here. He gets out of his T-step with a lot of precision here to make a big hit. Head hunting player as far as in his coverage. He's aligned at a will linebacker in this spot, flows with the play, gets off a block. It makes it, dude. I mean, a dynamite hit. These are actually these are good highlights. Mm-hmm. These are not like watching the other guy that we did earlier, the offensive tackle that couldn't move. This guy's a heavy hitter, man. He's got a really interesting body, very, very leggy, very, very high cut. He can probably fill out a good bit. I'm not sure he really is 6'4", but man, he can play. Are you watching this huddle?
No, I'm not. I was going back to find the post from John Garcia from Rivals posted on Tuesday on Orange Bloods. Fast rising linebacker sets Texas official visit for November 9th. November 9th, he'll have his visit. So that'll be next weekend again.
Yo, man, Kellen Wiley's a take, dude.
Next weekend against Florida. John Garcia writes, Wiley has exploded onto the scene as a senior, just his second year of ball, working as an off-ball player with great size and range, had 5 sacks in a game recently.
He's a take. He can play, Cody.
He's
only played for 2 years.
It said second year of play. This is what John Garcia reported. He's a Rivals reporter, obviously. Thought that was
dude. I mean, he has an 11-minute huddle, and it's like it's all good. I'm only like what less than 3 minutes into it, and he's already like this guy makes play after play. I'd be interested to see Hillsborough High School. I mean, in Tampa, Florida. That seems like these are pretty big stadiums. It doesn't look like. Man, dude, he's got some length and long arms and long legs. He can play, man. He's fast. He's just real skinny. He's skinny as a rail, Cody.
So, Overshown wasn't exactly.
Well, Overshown was a safety.
Yeah.
Dude, what's this guy's name? Kellen Wiley. Dude, he's a take. That guy, dude, he's a take for sure. Cody, do you know that my wife? I would have never done this. So coming home, so she's a teacher at a nearby school district, right? And she's coming back out to Spicewood, and on the way she stopped in, Bee Cave, because my kids love this. They love their gross Domino's pizza, and she wanted to get them some pizza before they, eat their piece of candy tonight. And dude, she went in there, ordered the pizza, paid for it, and they told her it was going to be like a 30-minute wait or something like that. She's like, all right, fine. She waited an hour and it still wasn't ready. They told her it was going to be another 45 minutes. And so she just left and just like paid for it and just left. I go, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I go, you better call back up there and say I want that, like that's our money, man. Like get that money back, or because she can't go back and get the pizza. Like they're leaving right now to go do the Halloween stuff.
What pizza place was it?
Domino's. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, dude. It's just like such a ripoff, and like I'm not mad about it myself, because I already have things lined up. I have some filet tips from Texas Beef Traders, and so that's what I'm throwing on, right? I would never eat I sometimes, if my kids order Domino's, I'll sometimes eat it, but it's like, it really is. It's like Domino's is what I call just like football pizza.
It's miserable, dude. I told you I got sick last week eating that crap. A week ago today, I got sick eating crap pizza.
Yeah, man. It's like if you're at your buddy's house and he orders it and you're watching football or something, it's like I'll eat it. Or if my kids order some, and like I go out to get drinks or something with my wife, and I come back home and the babysitter ordered them for my kids, like I'll eat a slice, but like I think it's bad. Texas Beef Traders, just delicious. And you get 10% off when you tell them that you heard about them here on Orange Bloods. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com. No vaccines, no mRNA stuff, no weird cockamamie shots, no steroids, no injections. All it is just bovine nutritionists there on staff making sure that this herd is as healthy as possible. They don't ever let it cross mingle with any others. It's processed right there. The meat is hung from like hooks in the processing place, so the meat can get stretched out, and it makes it so much more tender. Texas Beef Traders is just the best. You can get all kinds of special cuts. My favorite cut is the Delmonico. It's in the box. It says the Dunlap. It's a delicious steak. It's cheap, right? They have awesome, like, just everything. Like, look at that giant tomahawk steak. It's just so good. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com. You get 10% off. It's already cheaper than the grocery store. It's better for you. It's clean protein for your family. Make sure and check them out. If you can't make it into Lakeway, just go on the website, call them up, talk to Darren. He'll probably want to talk your ear off about Texas football. But look, just make the order. He'll just bring it to your house. All right. I know a bunch of you guys have taken him up on that, so thank you. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com. All right, going through the rest of this. But wait, Can we just put a pin in this and remember to go back and watch more Kellen Wiley?
Mm-hmm.
That guy is. I mean, I mean, you guys should go watch him. I don't think that this would be necessary. Like, if they end up getting him and they don't get, well, I don't know, Cody. Like,
I think that offer going out this week tells you. I think that offer going out right now tells you more about Madden and Owusu Boateng than it does about Wiley. But it also tells you a lot about Wiley.
Texas is his best offer. I mean, his best offers, Kellen Wiley, his best offers are Texas.
He has a Miami offer, doesn't he?
Yeah, Texas, Miami, and Florida State. Here's his offers: Bowling Green, Buffalo, Florida State, Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech, Illinois, Liberty, Louisville, Maryland, Miami, North Carolina, North Dakota State, South Florida, Syracuse, Texas, Toledo, Western Kentucky, Michigan State.
He's going to NDSU.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. But Kellen Wiley. Okay. And then, but Jason also said on the he has Nathaniel Owusu Boateng up to 30% chances now of going to Texas, and he has Madden Faramo Faramo. I don't know. He's got Madden F at 35%, and that remains unchanged. But that 35% has always seemed to me like a real fraud. Faramo. Thank you, Alan Makeda. It just seems like something like whenever he doesn't commit and he goes to Notre Dame or whatever, just like Jason just be like, well, I always said it was just 35%.
One of these two guys is going to Notre Dame.
Okay. Defensive backs. They need 3 or 4, but they only have 2.
But the one they have is like worth 2 by himself.
Yeah. Caleb Chester, Jonah Williams. Of course, Jonah Williams now out for the season. They're at Galveston Ball, home of famous ex-Galveston Ball power forward, Mr. Mike Evans. The next big star to come out of there, Jonah Williams, who will be a Texas Longhorn at safety.
I wonder if they're working at all. I know he doesn't have like notations for like flips or anything on here, but I wonder if they're still working on Aiden Anding and Cade Phillips from LSU, because they were like, I remember, there's a lot of conversation about those two guys. Cade was it Cade that was the one that was committed, or was it Aiden Anding that was committed before to Texas?
Oh man, I get that mixed
up. Two of them mixed up all the time.
I do. I do too with the whole thing about Anding. I can't remember.
I think it was Phillips who was committed. Doesn't matter. But anyway,
it's gonna kill me. Someone in chat will know. I'm starting to get these guys. You start to get these guys a little bit mixed up.
It was Phillips.
One other thing too was just this whole thing about Michael Terry. So he has Michael Terry listed in the tight end section, and that is now up to a 65% chance. That's Jason's most confident of all the remaining targets is that Texas gets Michael Terry from San Antonio, but he does have him listed as a tight end. I think you and I have talked to, but dude, I think if Michael Terry were on this team right now, they'd be playing him at running back.
Yep.
Have him just be be some kind of bizarro Derrick Henry type. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just we've talked about kind of Cordero Patterson, stuff like that. I think I don't know if that's the pitch that they're going to give him, but they did say that you're going to be the JT Sanders replacement and everything, but now they can point at Gunnar Helm and say, well, you're going to be that guy's replacement,
Yeah,
so I think he'll play
Jordan Washington's he's going to be sick. But I think the point stands, like, there's plenty of roles that can be filled.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to knock out these buy or sells that I wrote down for earlier in the week? We can do those, and then we can get into your conference finals roadmap,
Yeah,
and
what do you
maybe
got?
your surprise picks.
You got some Halloween buy or sells or what?
Yeah, Halloween buy or sells. All right, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go in order. Here they are. Um, buy or sell. Marcel Reed will be as good for the rest of the season as he was coming in versus LSU.
That felt like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, but that's
But
sometimes the job of a college coach is to be able to
the
you know.
problem is, like, we saw it once already, like early in the year, right? Remember, he came in and played for Weigman for a few weeks, and then they brought Weigman right back in.
Yep.
I Part of me wonders. He said yesterday on the conference call that we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait until the weekend to make that decision. We're gonna wait until the weekend to make that decision, right?
Oh,
He did, right? No, you got out before that, didn't you? He was asked twice on that conference call if who the quarterback was going to be. Does that
I just
surprise
quit after Sark. I listened to every other coach, but I
you?
always do quit
Though?
before I go.
I know, I
Yeah.
forgot until I just said that out loud. I forgot that you didn't watch that part.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you that he said that?
Yeah. I mean, that's a lie.
That's
You
what I thought.
can't go back to Wegman. I mean, that's just a lie. You don't want to give up a competitive advantage. It's gonna be Marcel Reed versus South Carolina. And I mean, but do you think he's gonna be as good?
I mean, he was good earlier this year. I mean,
That guy dominated for about a quarter and a half of football.
he threw the football twice.
Yeah, but he had pretty. I mean, two long. I mean,
Is he Michael Vick? Is he
the two
Lamar Jackson? He can't win
I
like
don't
that.
know. I don't
He can't
know.
dominate a whole game like that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think they caught LSU with their pants down. They didn't know how to react to Reed like that. I think that we know the LSU defense is kind of fraudulent. Like they're I
Brian
don't know if
Kelly.
he can play like that because I think that was a situation where, and I think that's why he's trying to keep it close to his vest because I think he wants South Carolina to work at work to practice on both quarterbacks all week and prepare for both quarterbacks.
Well, Brian Kelly didn't. He said that they didn't do that.
That's what I just said though. Like they caught LSU with their pants down, and their defense isn't that good, so they just caught him, and they didn't know how to prepare or to react, I should say, to Marcel Reed. South Carolina, now that they haven't announced a quarterback, is, you would assume, preparing for both, but I would say predominantly Reed. But if for example they were preparing for Weigman and then they started Reed, that'd be different. I think that they're going to be properly prepared for a guy like Reed. He was good earlier this year. He carried the ball 10 plus times each of those games, averaged 6.5 a rip against Florida and Bowling Green. Arkansas contained him pretty well in the running game. He threw the football, not very efficient. I think that situation at LSU was like top line Marcel Reed, what you're going to get. I think more than likely when he starts a game and the other team knows he's starting the game, it's going to be a much regressed version of that, something similar to what we saw earlier this year, which is like a 55%, 50% completion percentage guy.
Who runs for like 55 yards on the game.
Yeah, he can run. I mean, he can run for 55, 70 yards, somewhere in there. Like he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's going to be a world beater. I don't think he's going to be this like Pavia. I tell you earlier, I think the other day, like I said, like a more explosive but less efficient Pavia type of situation in all facets of the game, passer and runner. Like Pavia's got obviously a better build to withstand that in the SEC. I don't know if Marcel Reed's frame can withstand 5 games.
Gosh, I want Pavia to get drafted by the Rams.
Well, okay.
I do.
Here's a non-buy or sell, but let's call it a this or that. Let's call it a this or that. Who would you rather have be drafted by the Rams? Quinn Ewers or Diego Pavia?
Oh, I just think that. I mean, I think McVay would just cook some stuff up with Pavia that I would love. And here's the thing: I also think that I'm not sure I'd want it to be Quinn because it's a total rebuild, and like that offensive, like what are they going to do? They're trying to trade Cooper Cup. You know what I mean?
Are they though? If they win this week, they're that whole division's at 4-4. Except for them, they're at 3-4. Like
They're going to Seattle.
yeah.
This can be tough, man. I don't know. I mean, I mean, this feels like they were all like, F them picks. And I feel like it's finally kind of come back to bite them, but I think it doesn't matter. They got their Super Bowl victory out of it and all the rest, but it's like, it's clear that, it's not going to be, it didn't like Quinn Ewers would walk into a spot with, even the offensive line that they had a few years ago. And then, even Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup operating even like they're operating right this instant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it would just, I would want him to, I feel like I would want him to go to a team with a better offensive line so he wouldn't get hurt. Like, I think Pavia wouldn't even matter.
Correct. I believe that.
Okay. Here's another buy or sell. Okay. If the Cowboys fire McCarthy, they should hire Vrabel and not Belichick.
Sell.
You would want Belichick if those are the two finalists, and you can't say no because I want Ben Johnson or something. Like it's
no.
Okay.
Sell, because I think that the culture is it's going to be this kind of a backwards way of answering. Their sideways answer. You're going to say, well, if it's this, then why can it be that? The culture to me feels so cracked that it's something that Vrabel won't want to take on. And it needs such a, you remember how tough-nosed that Tennessee team was with Derrick Henry and Taylor Lewan and Jarrell Casey and Jeffrey. Like it was tough. And that's why it was able to be how it was, because they knew they were going to run the football. They knew they could stop the run. They were a tough team. Dallas I don't think that's Vrabel's vibe, but I do think that Belichick in Dallas, if him and Jerry can get on the same page and allow Belichick to do what Belichick wants for 2 or 3 years, that Belichick can groom his predecessor, I think it can work. So I'm going to say sell. I think Belichick over Vrabel.
Oh, dude. So you put a candy bar sell in here.
I did.
Yeah, dude. Let's do it. Put it up.
All right, buy or sell. You're an old man, so you like dots more than M&Ms and Skittles.
Dots? Which ones are dots again?
The yellow box.
Are they fruity candy?
Yeah, like the little.
They're like little, like they look like little, like the hearing protection that you wear at the range.
Yes. It's an old dude candy right here. This is. I like some dots. Okay.
No, like old dude candies, like Whoppers or York peppermint patties or this stuff. No, I can tell you that just the definitive candy rankings. It's pretty simple. In third place, of course, it's Sour Patch Kids. In second place, it's I'm sorry. In third place, it's Airheads. In second place, the White Mystery Airheads is just the best one. In second place,
you're talking about the sticks, right?
Yeah. Okay. In second place, it's Laffy Taffy.
Oh my god!
And then the bananas aren't the best, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll still eat it. And then the best is everybody knows the best. It's just the chalk, right? Smarties.
What?
Yeah, Smarties.
You like Smarties? That's your number one?
How can y'all like Smarties? It's delicious.
That's
do you not love Smarties?
I didn't expect that to be. I mean, I don't even know if that's a.
I thought Smarties would be the chalk.
I don't even know if that's top 8.
What? What would you put over Smarties?
I mean, a lot.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know people keep on saying Reese's, and like the Reese's peanut butter cups are fine, but I mean they're no Smarties. What are your top three? I gave my top three, and I sell that I like Dots because I like Skittles more than Dots. I'm not a huge M&M's guy.
I mean, I am an extreme sweet tooth, but I'm very much dialed into exactly what I like. But I do like some good chocolate. My favorite chocolate, yes, thank you, JD. Shout out to JD. Sandman, I'd rather eat a Twinkie. All right, my number one chocolate is a Twix. I love some Twix bars. I think my number one overall it has to be Nerd Clusters.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's great. It's the same flavor profile as Smarties. Sweet, tangy, delicious.
I mean, they're
crunchy.
not. I wouldn't say they're tangy.
Yeah, they got a little bit of kind of sour. Nerds? What are you talking about?
Nerd clusters.
Yeah, there's just clusters of nerds. Honestly, it's just
with the goo on the inside.
Oh, okay. Oh, goo on the inside, huh?
Yeah, nerd clusters, and then Skittles. Skittles is easy.
I have a take on this.
Is that one of the most underrated of all time?
No, it's not. And here's the thing. Here's how you know that Milky Way is the second best out of the ones that you can get the individual little. Do you know how you can get the packages with the little kind of
Three Musketeer, Milky Way, Snicker? Yep,
Snickers. Those three. Okay, I've explained this to my kids a million times. Do you know why you can tell that Snickers is best, Milky Way second best, and Three Musketeers is third best?
I think I take Three Musketeers first.
Well, here's the thing: anytime somebody puts out a bowl at the doctor's office or at the barber, why is it always full of Three Musketeers? Those are the ones that get left out. Those are the ones that get left behind by everybody else taking Snickers and Milky Way. It's a dude. You guys wait until we get like 5 days after Halloween, and next time you go to the bar where they'll have their leftover Halloween candy in there, and it'll be those little bite-sized little candy bars, and you just wait. It'll be those disgusting silver packaged three Musketeers, and all the Snickers and all the Milky Ways will be gone.
Dude, it's like Three Musketeers is like mousse. I love mousse, like a mousse and marshmallow mixture. I love that.
People in the chat have some interesting takes, man. Like they're talking about
boys are trash.
Hold on, Money B's talking about $100,000. I forgot which is $100,000 like a Heath bar. Is that one that's got like what's $100,000? I'm not sure.
$100,000 is the red one. The red one that's like a nougat, right? No. I think it's like a caramel nougat.
Well, thankfully, hopefully, I won't have any trick or treaters today. And as everybody knows, I guess
enjoy or not.
As long as we're talking about candy, like I'll explain the Squid Game. I'll play with my kids, and I'll just do this once. And I think I would recommend you do it with your kids. It's a super, super easy game to play. Basically, what you do is you limit them to one piece of candy per day after Halloween's over, so they don't turn into slobs, right? And so what you do is after dinner, they got to eat the whole dinner. After that, you can play the Squid Game. What you do is you got to roll the dice, and if you roll an odd number, you get your choice of a fruity candy. If you roll an even number, you get your choice of a chocolate candy. But if you roll a 1, you got to roll again. And if you roll a second one, and you don't get any candy if you roll the 1, right? But if you roll a second one, you've lost the Squid Game. You have to take your candy and your siblings' candy and go walk them right out to the trash and throw it all away. And that's the Squid Game. It's life or death. So that's what I would recommend. It's a really fun game. It's fun. It's fun for the family. And
Alex,
yep. So are we gonna get to more buy or sell? Are we gonna do let's
do buy or sell. We only got a couple minutes left. Let's just do buy or sell. I do want to say that I got some prize picks tonight from Houston and the Jets. And
do you want to do that right now, and then we'll get out? We
Yeah,
can save some of these buy or sell for final takes.
let's do that. We got a big final take show tomorrow, going into a bye weekend. A lot of college football playoff stuff, a little bit of recruiting stuff, college football updates. I'm in the middle of this 2-hour press conference that was with the college football people yesterday. I didn't get to finish it because my power went out today, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. We got final takes amidst a big bye weekend. So make sure you tap in tomorrow as you're relaxed, full of this candy that your kids are collecting this afternoon.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, so let's see what I like. You get something on like kicker points or something?
I don't. I went
Do you know whether do you think that Sauce Gardner is going to be on Tank Dell?
I would assume he probably is. I took both quarterbacks under 236 and under 223.
What
It's the two best defensive. It's the two best pass defenses in football. They both allow 161, 165 yards per game on defense. Stroud's now without Diggs and Nico. Only has Tank and Schultz.
I like that, man. I think that's good.
And then Rodgers just hasn't. I mean, Rodgers has been floating around the number. He's hit it a couple times.
Is Tank Dell really gonna hit it for a 22.5-yard reception this game?
Looks like he hasn't in a while. I wanted to get a Xavier Hutchinson. I was wishing it was going to be receiving plus rushing, but it was only receiving and it was at 21.5. Other books have it at like 19. I like Hutchinson though. He ran the most routes last week of Mechie and Woods.
Do you know do you know how many he ran out of the slot? I want these like I want the slot versus this matchup.
I don't have the slot number readily.
Okay.
But I just know that they love him and they used him a lot in the preseason. You know, he was a problem, right, at Iowa State.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was every year. It was like 10 catches for Xavier Hutchinson, man. It's like you worried. It's so crazy, man. Like you think back about that stuff. You're like, you worried about Breece Hall. You worried about Xavier Hutchinson. You worried about was his name
McDonald.
Will McDonald. And you worried about Charlie Kolar. It's wild. And now all those guys are
19 in the slot, 25 wide.
So and we know Mechie plays out wide.
I think Bobby Trees was the one that was in the slot probably the most.
There's no way I'm playing Bobby Trees, dude. If we like the lesser on Aaron Rodgers, shouldn't we like the more on rush yards for Breece though?
I took 5 receptions because I got a little bit of value there for Adams. I took the over on that.
Man, but they've been handing the ball to Breece Hall, dude.
I know. Braylon worked out for us last week.
Yeah, that was a good call, man. Gosh, what's the rush plus receiving yard? Oh, how about dude? Devontae Adams is getting more than 8 targets.
I took him at 5 receptions rather than 8 targets. That's the one.
The reason I'm doing that is I got swindled on the receptions last week, Cody. Whenever it's like he only got like 4 receptions, but it was on like 10 targets.
Yeah, I
was like, gosh, I should have just taken targets.
That's fair.
I'm gonna go Devontae Adams with the targets. What did you say you had for the other one though? Hutchinson for receiving yards.
Yeah, I think it's 21.
Roto Grinders has him for 27.1. What did he have last week? 19. Gosh. Dude, are they gonna have to dump it off to Breece Hall some? 31.5. Actually, it seems like too much.
I don't see Money B over here. Money B don't got nothing. I wish Money B would give us a little bit of something.
Do you have any stuff that you like about what do you think about this Tank Dell longest reception, 22.5?
I mean, it's definitely interesting. I didn't even like entertained it.
I'm not sure he's gonna get. I mean,
he hasn't had one since week 1.
He's gonna have tough matchups here.
Week 1, he had a 23. That was it. That was the longest all year.
But they have one over. How about the longest rush here? Breece Hall. Is Breece Hall gonna break off a 16.5 yarder? I don't know.
16.5 is a little long.
17.5 is too long for Mixon, isn't it?
Yeah, against this defense, I would say. What about kicking? What do we get for Zerline's been crappy, so I wonder if they give you a decent Zerline number.
They're not giving you Zerline. But Fairbairn, what
Ah,
they're saying, what I don't want it because I think that
I don't want to ever take unders on kicker points.
yeah, if I had to, I'd take the. I'm just gonna play Rodgers less. I'm gonna play C.J. Stroud less. I'm gonna play Devontae Adams less. See if I can make 5x here. Make up like $150, and just maybe think that this game's a little bit of a stinker.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then Devontae Adams just gets a bunch of like low calorie targets, right?
That's been the season so far.
Yeah. So that's the story I'll tell myself. See if we can make a little cash here. Feel free to probably better off fading it than tailing it for sure. Cody, anything else you want for the people before we get out of here?
That's it, brother. It's a good. We're closing in on this final bye week. The home stretch is coming. Final takes Friday tomorrow. We're gonna cover a lot. We're gonna cover a little. We're gonna have a good week doing it.
Now, you can email us, fwfemails@gmail.com. Send us your deer hunting pictures. Send us from this weekend, man. Send us your turkey. I think that's opening up too. Fishing stuff, man. Send in those photos. We want to show them off here. Send us photos of tailgating. Send us emails complaining about officiating. We want to share them. We want to be able to integrate the community here outside of just the chat, because we've just been realizing lately, gosh, don't put that thing back up, Cody. That hurts my feelings that I can't get them. Yeah, man, it's just, we want to be able to, there's so many of you guys that watch that aren't, all our great friends in the chat, man. It's like, the show is really growing, but it's so weird when you look at the trends. The show is growing for people that watch in the morning. So we want to be able to like interact with you guys on the show too. So please email us, fwfemails@gmail.com. Go have some fun tonight, man. Go if you're going out trick or treating. I think I've kind of gotten out of it because my family's already left. So I can just kind of sit here, cook up some steak from Texas Beef Traders, watch some football. But if you guys have to do it, man, it's not that you have to do it. It's that you get to do it. You only get so many years with your kids around where they want to go do this stuff with you. So if you're in that spot, go do it. Go have some fun. Don't eat too much candy. Don't turn into a disgusting slob. Okay. Love you guys. For Cody, I'm Alex. We're done.